Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak in this session. The geosciences have a built-in barrier to inclusion of persons with disabilities, and that barrier is field camp. We know that field camp is foundational to the geosciences, right? It is a challenge, and it's a huge growth opportunity as part of the undergraduate curriculum. It is the first real in-depth, serious field experience that most people go through as they become geoscientists. It puts a lot of things together from the undergraduate curriculum. It is seen as one of the very central ways by which we become geoscientists, and perhaps most importantly, it is the way that we learn to work together and to live together in the field in the way that geoscientists need to do at many times in their careers. And for all these reasons, the field camp is a required part of most undergraduate programs. And so this is how we picture field camp, right? Hiking in the mountains, mapping structures. But this picture excludes a lot of people, including many people with disabilities. Institutions might offer accommodations for people who can't hike in the mountains in the form of a parallel classroom activity to substitute for field camp, but that really turns out to be insufficient because it does not cover the part of field camp that we think is really important, the part about learning to live together, to work together, and bonding experience. And so the University of Minnesota Hydrogeology Field Camp is working closely with the International Association for Geoscience Diversity to develop what is going to be the first ongoing 3-week field camp that is accessible to all persons with disabilities. And so this is a little bit of low-hanging fruit. It is our field camp, Hydro Field Camp, takes place at a place called the Deep Portage Learning Center in central Minnesota that is fully ADA compliant. And so people are living in dorms rather than camping. It's fully compliant. There are classroom facilities. The dining hall is accessible. And the field area as well is accessible, right? There are roads right up to the field sites, and you can see that the areas around where people are working, so this is a heavily instrumented area with groundwater monitoring wells and pumping wells, and the area around here where students are working and taking their measurements is clear and it's flat. And you want flat? Minnesota, we have some flat. And so the areas where students work, there are a number of activities in the 3-week camp, but the areas are all accessible, flat, clear, and the instruments and methods that we use are easily handled and used by people with a wide range of mobility and sensory abilities. Even some of the accommodations, the modifications that we make to different methods of teaching and of collecting data, as we find with a lot of disability accommodation, these modifications turn out to be good for everybody, for learning of all students. And so, of course, accommodation is not only facilities, right? It's creating a supportive environment, and so our faculty and TAs will be going through training by our Office for Equity and Diversity, as well as our Disability Resource Center, and then we'll be generating sort of original, content-specific trainings for the field experience. And this is also, of course, not only for persons with apparent disabilities, but for non-apparent disabilities as well. And so we are accepting applications. This is going to be ready to roll for this summer. So please look it up. We want your students to apply. And so Earth Sciences, Minnesota. And then with my last 41 seconds, I'm going to do shameless plugs for 2 other things, because that's what I like. So we have on Wednesday morning at Jillian's, right across the street, we have an event called Continuing Geoscience and Diversity Work in a New Political World. That is something that's open to everyone. We have a panel discussion, some breakfast. Please come to that and help us work with diversity going forward. will be done by the time sessions start over here. And then I have stickers and buttons to sell if anybody wants them. They're $1. Thanks.